everyone,
Yeah.
Dalia here, and welcome to episode 3 of the Creatives Connect webinar series. As always, I have a brilliant expert guest speaker for us today. I'm going to let him introduce himself in just a second because there's just so much that I can say about him, and I would rather that he tells us all the amazing thing that he does. But I would love to introduce to you Tobi Akinyele. I really hope I pronounced that surname right. I'm sorry. But Tobi is a brand strategist, he's a design generalist, and he is an entrepreneur. He is building what is called Use My Spur, and he's going to tell us all about that. But this is a talent hiring and upskilling platform that helps startups to find, hire, and work with African creatives that are doing amazing things. It helps, African creatives and startups to find and hire other creative talents in brand marketing, in communications, in design, and of course in tech, because that is the industry that is, I would say, is most booming at the moment. And it kind of
Yeah.
applies to every single thing we do. No matter where you find yourself, even as a creative, there is going to be a tech implication in the work that you do. So thank you so much for being here, Tobi. And like I said,
Yeah.
if you can just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about the work that you do, and we will get right into today's topic.
Okay, thank you, Dahila. So again, you said everything really. What else do I want to add to that? Okay, so I think let me add this then. Okay, so I like to see myself as someone that is building a portfolio of ordinary people living their best lives, right? By doing what they
Okay.
love. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you think of that really well, it means that each and every one of us has been blessed with certain talents and passions, like deposited in us by God, like the Creator, right? And then, but it's up to us to determine how to fine tune that passion and talent, right? Because it's
To
raw, it's in
harness
the
it,
net form.
harnessing skills.
Exactly. So we're harnessing, and then that's really about life's journey. You're harnessing these things that God has deposited in you. You are
Yeah.
refining it in some way. It can make you more money. It can give you influence. It can help you build your environment, live a better life, and ultimately leave a lasting impact on earth. Right. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's life's journey. And looking at myself as always having this passion for creativity, this passion for graphic design, I didn't even know that I could leverage a design tool. And that was where my journey started, leveraging Corel Draw. I started out with using Corel Draw as a tool. And I found that I could do stuff easily, right? When it came to design, because I already had this passion in me,
Yep.
right? And
Yep.
then I morphed into many other things, niche down into brand strategy, brand identity, visual communication, and all that stuff. Ultimately, what I'm doing now. So I feel like it's now my mission to inspire young people and every other African out there,
Yeah.
teach them the ropes, let them know, hey, you don't have to struggle in this thing, right?
Nope.
Just go from here, go from here, go from here, and hopefully you can find a better meaning for life, which is ultimately what has inspired us to do my sport.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you
and then
so much
basically
for that.
for us, yeah, and then for us, there is just as you said, a talent hiring and upskilling. So two things: we're helping you get the right jobs, and then we're helping you learn and grow, basically.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Thank you so much for that introduction, Toby. And I'll tell you right now, I absolutely love the fact that you said ordinary people. That just struck out to me as brilliant because I think that there's this innate fear in creatives when they see people doing amazing work and they already feel like that can't be me. That's not me. There's
Mhm,
always this thing
mhm.
about this person was born smart. This person, you see someone in a previous episode, I was talking about networking and like public speaking. You go to a networking event, you see someone that's standing on stage, you're like, this person, maybe they were
Mhm.
born with confidence. They're just, now to be honest, there is a lot of natural talent in creativity. There are some people that from the day they were born, they just knew how to draw, anything that comes to their head. But for the
Yeah.
majority of us, like you said, we are ordinary people, we are normal people. It is a skill that you have to learn and improve. It is not something that you were born with. And I'm sure that that is what you have even identified as an individual yourself in your own career, to say, you don't have to have all the answers at first. You start with what you have and then you build up from there, right?
Yeah, you don't have to really. You don't have to. And then I people will often say, as you know, that the best time to start is was yesterday, right? The
It
next
was
best time
yesterday.
to start is yeah, is today, right? So they say the best time to start was yesterday. The next best time to start is now. You just have to
It's
start on your journey.
absolutely. You
So I
just
think
have
it
to
comes
start.
to just yeah, you just have to start. Just determine that you want to start. That's all you
Yeah,
need to start, right? Just having that
absolutely.
determination that you want to start.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that, Toby. And on that note, we are going to get started with
Okay.
today's topic. So today we're going to be talking all about leveraging LinkedIn for maximum networking impact. Now, obviously, just by Toby's introduction, you can tell that he's dealing with talent hiring, upskilling. So he's connecting to people. And if you think about any platform that really does that in a professional light, is LinkedIn. It's connecting the person looking for the employment, the person looking for the talent, the person looking for jobs, to the person that actually has the skill. So you have two different people at the ends of the spectrum and you need to bring them together. And I think that requires such an immense skill to know how to. This is not a dating app, right? Now you're trying to pair a job seeker and a job finder. So, now a job seeker and the person that's offering jobs, rather. And I think there is no platform that does that as good as LinkedIn does. And that is exactly why
Mhm.
we're talking all things LinkedIn today. So, like I said, today's topic is leveraging LinkedIn for maximum networking impact. We are still on the theme of building up your professional network, especially as a creative. So we're just going to jump right into it. So my very first question for you, Toby, is what do you think that makes LinkedIn as a platform stand out to other social media platforms? Because as much as, yes, I said, LinkedIn is a good place, it's an amazing place for this, but we can also agree that you can do professional networking on Instagram, you can do that on Facebook, you can do
Mhm.
that even on Twitter, right? Why should someone be thinking about LinkedIn? What makes it stand out?
So I mean, I think for me, three things. And the first one I'll start with is the fact that, in as much as there are other networks, let's not call them professional networks now, right? You can do professional
Yeah,
stuff in them, but then you
yeah,
see, you can do professional stuff in them, but that does not make them like a professional network. Okay,
network.
because if you look at all the social media platforms we have, right? You're thinking Instagram, right? You're thinking TikTok, you're thinking maybe Snapchat, there's Twitter, and then there's LinkedIn, right? So if you're now trying to put them into various categories and niches, you
Yeah,
know that some are focused on social interaction, right? Others are focused on purely entertainment. For example, TikTok, right? Or Snapchat, like purely entertainment, which is fine, right? Others are
oh god,
focused on maybe content sharing or some sorts, right?
yeah,
But then when you say a professional network, that's where you want to place LinkedIn, at least over time, above and beyond. This is what we've seen, right? So which this is actually one of the major things that makes LinkedIn different. When you say, oh, a professional networking platform, then you want to place LinkedIn there, right? So
yeah,
if you see it as such, it means that you channel your professional antecedents towards that platform because that's
yeah,
how it will work for you. That's when it will work
yeah,
for you. Right? So
yeah,
another thing I'll say is the fact that some of the tools for building a professional career are already on LinkedIn that you can leverage on. When you're
yeah,
thinking of career advancement, you're thinking of business development. If you're a business owner or if you run a business, right? You're thinking of
yeah,
business development. You're looking for, as you said yourself, job search.
yeah.
Exactly.
Very
Now,
important.
the features on LinkedIn are already wired to suit this particular faces basically, and
Yeah.
you can leverage all of that. Okay, and then
Yeah.
lastly is that LinkedIn emphasizes building a professional brand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
With yourself, with your colleagues. There are colleagues of mine that I last saw maybe in university or secondary school, and I'm seeing them on LinkedIn. I'm like, oh wow, this is what this person is doing now.
Do it
And then
now.
you can try to build that web of colleagues above and beyond over time around LinkedIn. So whether it's potential employers or clients or thought leaders, you can build that web of a strong environment around LinkedIn, which is what makes it
Yeah.
different ultimately from other
Absolutely. Yeah.
social media platforms. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that distinction that you've kind of created when you say professional network, because really I even haven't been thinking about like thinking it in that light up until now, because truly and truly it is all about building that professional network. And when I think of, like you said, I even forgot that Snapchat was a social media platform. I forgot. I don't know what people do on Snapchat. I may be showing my age, but I don't know what people do on Snapchat. If you use Snapchat and
Mm.
you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm not tearing your platform down. It's just I don't know. But yeah, so when I think about now Snapchat, TikTok, oh TikTok, that's another one where I'm showing my age. But like you rightly said, LinkedIn is literally tailored towards that professional network. And I think,
Mm.
LinkedIn as a brand has done a brilliant work with that differentiating factor to kind of set themselves apart from literally every other social media, platform, because everywhere else you can send messages, everywhere else you can post content, everywhere else you can do all these different things. But LinkedIn, again, like you said, now has built-in features to re-emphasize the fact that this is not just any other social media platform. This is not just for connection.
Yeah.
This is not just a meeting place for
Yeah.
people. It is very intentional for the networking element. If you want to look for jobs, you're thinking LinkedIn. If you want to boost your career, if you want to boost your portfolio, you're thinking LinkedIn. If you want to even start building up that professional network like we have been talking about, you're thinking LinkedIn, because other people are also coming to the platform for that same reason, right? So that
True.
is where
True.
you also need to be thinking about it, like, oh, this is the sole
Hmm.
purpose of this platform. So I need to be going there for the purpose of professional networking. And I think that's a very important one. Do you find that, I don't know, for you, was it easy for you to kind of integrate into LinkedIn when you had been using other social media platforms, or was there kind of like, something that you held back on to say, I do I really want to be on this platform? It's very different from what I'm used to, or was it a very seamless integration for you?
Well, I wouldn't say it was that seamless because again, it's a journey, and then you learn on the go, really.
Yeah.
Especially when
Yeah.
there's no rule of thumb, right? There are no laws to this thing, so you just learn on the go. And I remember many years ago when it first came out, and I mean everybody was joining. So at first, that's what even inspired me to join, right? Because everybody
Yeah.
was doing that. Like, hey, put up, and then over time, I think I stumbled upon a presentation from LinkedIn's founder where he
Oh.
was sharing the overall vision of LinkedIn many years ago,
Mm.
and then that was even inspired me personally to rearrange and tailor my profile, and then
Yeah.
also discussing with or listening to thought leaders talk about LinkedIn above and beyond professional. At some point I needed to like be seen
Yeah.
professionally doing
Yeah.
good work.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I now okay. So okay. Then it was now I had to intentionally start building my profile for LinkedIn. So it started
Yeah.
out building my profile. It started out then after that it was about consistency with my posting, making it like a particular flow, a particular pattern, trying to build connection across board. Yeah. So I think everything happens over time. It's not really like
Absolutely.
yeah. But
It's not
then
like you're
once
just
you
going to get there and just
and then
everything.
slam it, because again, as you know, consistency is the key to the game, right? you
Yeah.
might not necessarily reap the rewards immediately, but again, it's like a lifestyle. If you make it a lifestyle, the rewards will come over time and you enjoy what you're doing. It wouldn't be like it's being forced. Yeah.
Fun fact, did you know that LinkedIn experimented with stories at some point? I don't
At
know
some
if you
point,
caught
right?
that.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember.
because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always I think it's the product manager in me, but I'm always like eyeing every single app that I use in terms of new
They have
features and new
stories. Yeah.
developments. They tried
Yeah.
it. I think it was like an experiment that they did to see would their audience actually like it, and they took it off within a couple
No,
of
I
months.
think, yeah, and I think for me it was a thing of let's focus. So if I'm focusing on professional, let's make it professional. And that was when they started creating more features around the professional sector as
Yeah.
opposed social interaction and social networking. Yeah, I think
Absolutely
that
brilliant. And that is even like a very good segue into our next question. What are some of the essential components of LinkedIn or of your LinkedIn profile that you think that would stand out to potential connections?
mm, mm. I mean, I think that anything I'll say now will not be new. You've heard it at some point, or our viewers must have heard it at some point. But now the difference will be you intentionally making it work, right?
Yeah.
So which means don't do it haphazardly, but right. Think of the answers you want to get for these items I want to mention, and there are a few I'll mention, right? And then as I mentioned, you look at your LinkedIn profile and try to see where you can make adjustments to them. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing, as you know, the professional headline, right? This is basically what introduces you. Okay. For me, mine has evolved over time. At some point, it was brand strategies, graphic designer, creating amazing experiences for businesses. You get for many, many years when I was trying to build that career and
Yeah.
client base, that was what it was. Now it's different. Now it's just
It's
building my
evolved.
sport. It's evolved. Exactly. Now it's evolved. Okay. But again, the professional headline should be coincised, it should be impactful, right? It should clearly communicate your professional identity and value proposition.
Yeah. I
Simple.
think that's
Don't
that's
beat
a
around.
very good
Don't say a
point.
million and one things, right? Just let it clearly communicate your professional identity and what value do you bring to your target audience. It's as easy as that. It should be a one. It can be a one sentence, and just make it
Yeah.
impactful, make it coincide, and make it brief, right?
Yeah.
Then next will be your professional photo, right? Or your profile photo. Let's start with that. Your profile photo. And well, there's no rule of thumb to this, but because of the professional network, everybody wants to let it be
Do
professional photo.
headshots.
So that
Do headshots.
exactly.
You have
So
to be
yes,
serious.
again, exactly. So if it has worked for many, highly most likely to work for you. So hey, let's see your headshot. Let it be clear.
Yep.
Let it be. And I know some musicians and entertainers can have that persona with their profile photo, which is fine. Again, like I said, there's no rule of thumb. But career-wise, advancement, just have a professional headshot. Let's just leave it there. High quality, not pixelated. Like let it reflect your personal
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
If you're
That's
smart,
very
you're
good as
neat,
well.
let us see that in your photo, right? If you're straightforward and friendly and funny, let us see that in your photo as well. Yeah. The next
Yeah.
will be your summary. So your summary is like so I think there's a summary section and there's the experience section. So let's think
Yeah.
of your summary section as the longer version of your professional headline. Okay, so it's a well-written summary that highlights your experience, your skills, your achievements, basically everything you bring to the table. This is where you want to shine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've been in brand money. I've been a graphic designer for 4 years, working in 3 continents, helping
Mm-hmm.
businesses share their stories. Right, And after that, due to like a particular course I took in product management, I moved into the product management industry, worked in multiple verticals. Like this is when you start seeing big grammar,
You speak all the
supposedly.
English. Absolutely. Yes. You have to just keep
Professional
them with
English,
the
like
English.
exactly. And just sell yourself. Sell yourself, right?
Yeah.
And thereafter will be the experience section where you have like detailed descriptions of your work history, your accomplishments. So I think a rule of thumb for this would be to um look at your achievements, right? Don't just list out your responsibilities, or list out your responsibilities in based on KPIs, right?
Yeah.
Benchmark them to KPIs and strong achievements. Okay, helped move this company from this to this in 3 months. You get, we saw a 30% gross revenue in the first 3 weeks of my working. You get, I built up a content strategy blueprints that this company is running with. So let it be like
Yeah.
strong KPIs based on what you where you work. Because the reason is that when businesses or potential clients see this, they see you doing the same thing for them. And so it inspires them to come to you or to send you a message, basically.
Yeah.
Last will be your, or not last then. Okay, we have your skills and endorsement. This is where you are saying, hey, ASA, please, I've worked for you before. Come and endorse my skill. And then ASA is endorsing you as a creative designer or as a content
Yeah.
writer. And then you
Yeah.
can start small, right? Just list out maybe like 5, 6 friends of yours that you know they know your work because you've done free things for them, right? And then shoot them a message for them to endorse your skill. So you can have them, you can start creating that endorsement aspect of LinkedIn,
Yeah.
right? Next would be recommendations. So recommendations and endorsement, they try to go like hand in hand,
Hand in hand.
right?
Yeah.
So recommendations, yeah, where people can give you recommendations that you do good work. And I try to tell people that you should try and use like a custom URL. So you see linkedin.com/in/Tobi Akinyele. So that way you can send that profile link to anybody. So I think by default you don't have that. By default you have like maybe some numbers
A
and
bunch of
generic
numbers. Yeah. Yeah.
bunch of numbers. Exactly. So you can actually change this to just let it carry your name. And you can even now, I think there's a feature that lets you add maybe your website or your,
Mm.
if you have anything you put in, there's like a URL. You can add like an official URL link that
Yeah.
comes with your
Yeah.
profile that you can. Yeah, so above and beyond, these are all the things that I think should be essential components for you.
Absolutely. That is all amazing, like recommendations and feedback and advice. And one thing I think that kind of stood out for me in everything that you've said is intentionality. Literally being intentional with
Yeah,
every
right.
single one of these components, because you talked about the photograph, the kind of photo that you're picking, because some people don't even care. It's just like, oh, I have to upload any random photo and just do whatever. I'm
Oh,
going to be
but
the
don't
first
try
to say
that.
that
Don't try
it's
that.
not easy. I will be the first to admit that a lot of times, especially when you are starting out, I remember the first time I had to go and take a professional headshot. You don't want to know the headache that went into before I got to the point of taking a headshot. I think the person I was working for at the time said I was supposed to go for a conference to represent the company. And they said, send me, send us your professional headshot. And I sent them a picture.
Yeah.
Just a random selfie. And they said, this is not a professional headshot. I swear, I edited that picture. My God. I edited different, like, I think 5 different pictures, different kinds of editing. I even sent it. My brother is a graphic designer. I sent it to my brother. I said, please, can you remove the background? Can you touch up this? Can you
Yeah.
do this? Everything. They said, nope, lying. Nope, this is not a professional headshot. I had to respect myself and carry myself
Mm.
to what's the name of this very popular photography company? Oh God, it's very popular in Abuja. I can't remember the name now,
Yeah,
but
Abuja.
you know,
Okay.
just like a walk-in studio, it used to be very popular in Abuja. oh, I don't know why I've forgotten the name, but yeah, like a photography
Mhm.
studio back then. And it was based there. I remember this was in Guarimpa, and I had to go in and I said to them, I need a headshot.
Okay, I
I
think that
just had
was
to do
Studio
it.
24.
Exactly. See, my brain. Yeah,
Because you said
exactly.
Garimpa,
Studio.
they had,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
they
That's
were
Studio
picking
24.
Garimpa, though. I would say two and all. It
Yeah,
has to be
Studio
Studio
24. I remember that was the first time ever I put that picture everywhere. See, I put it on Google, I put it on LinkedIn, I said, yes, now
Yeah.
I'm a serious person. Now I'm ready to do
Mhm.
work. It's
Mhm.
so funny, but
Yeah.
it makes a world of difference, like you've said.
It does. It does. It
It
does.
even kind of, in my mind, I feel like the intentionality factor just kind of shows that you are serious about yourself. You are serious with yourself. It's like
Mhm.
I'm taking this brand seriously. I'm taking my LinkedIn profile seriously because, just going that extra step. Of course, you can write whatever, anything you want to put in your headline, in the bio, in all of those details. But you shouldn't, because this is a serious business, and that's one thing that I even kind of talk about a lot in my own coaching practices. People need to take their businesses seriously. This is not a joke. You are coming to a place where you want people to pay you real money. This is not monopoly. Real money for a service or products that you are rendering. You need to be
Yeah.
serious about what you are doing, right? So even in
Mhm.
putting together a LinkedIn profile, you can already see with everything that you've said how important it is to actually sit down with it and say, you talked about KPIs, for example, rather than just putting random things there like, oh, I did this and I did this. Now we're working with KPIs. Now we want to present ourselves in the best light to say, and one very, amazing thing that you mentioned that I want to kind of pick up on is the
Yeah.
employers are also now thinking they can do this for me too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And
exactly. Exactly.
yeah, this also applies even in a creative space where you just imagine a photographer, that has an agency, or they are doing their own like private work or whatever. Every way that you are showing off your brand is also putting in people's heads. It's like wedding photography, right? When someone sees the wedding photography you've done, they're already thinking about their own wedding. I know for a fact that I'm not
Exactly.
married. I know for a fact that some people's wedding photography I see.
You're already thinking, but but you know the thing, by the time you get married, more like top-notch photos would have come on board again, right?
Yeah,
But I mean, I
absolutely.
know I
So
recruit
yeah,
for I recruit for businesses, and because of that's what we do in my sport, right? And then
yeah,
when I'm sorting on LinkedIn, I can tell if this person can do the job. It doesn't matter what you write. Once I go to your profile, right? I see your hair, I see your photo, I see everything. I see where you've worked, the first three places. I can either say good fit, not a fit, or maybe. Within 2 minutes, I can tell. All by just looking at your LinkedIn profile, your LinkedIn page. It speaks. So you're as important as the importance you place on yourself, basically. Right?
oh, we need
If
to
you want to get a
caption
job on
that.
LinkedIn, if you want to get a job on LinkedIn, right? Jobs that are posted and you're applying on LinkedIn, best believe they'll look at your profile. They must
Yeah,
look at your profile, right? So
yeah,
if you're applying and saying something and your profile is saying something else, it doesn't tally, right? It starts from there. It starts from there. So just be intentional about all of those things I've mentioned, and you begin to see
yeah.
good results, baby. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. And I think this then moves us into our next question. One of the things that you mentioned, and it's also an important part of your profile, is the content that you are putting out there. And I know that I'm someone that's
Mhm.
very passionate about content marketing and just
Yeah.
content in general. But everybody, I feel like every single creative, especially at the start, they struggle with content, what to post, why, what do I say, how do I start? Okay, is it a video,
Mm.
is it written? LinkedIn has a variety of different types of content. LinkedIn also does articles, which I think is brilliant. LinkedIn also does newsletters,
Yeah.
which I think is brilliant. Again, all
Yeah.
these things are tailored towards that professional aspect of the platform. What would you say are the best types of content that will give you the best results when it comes to LinkedIn and your LinkedIn profile?
So the way I'll think about that question, I'll say that there is not really like you can't really find the best type of content, but rather, right, the best the content you choose to utilize, right, making it yours will give you the best results. We give you your best results
Yeah.
consistently. And I will explain, right? I started out using LinkedIn, trying to build a good clientele base as a graphic designer, right? So for me, it was about just posting my jobs I've done, jobs already on Behance. I do like a quick, hey, worked on this client, worked, this was the job I did, this is the objective, this was what I did. Let me know your thoughts on this. And I share
Yeah.
maybe pictures, sometimes I share link or check out the full showcase on Behance. I share link to Behance because I was a graphic designer, right?
Mm.
And then over and beyond, and I wanted to portray myself as a graphic designer as at then.
Yeah.
So above and beyond, people saw me based on my job, the photos I posted, the kind of images I did as a graphic designer. Again, I was looking to make money, right? And so clients that came to me were clients that already saw that I could do brand identity, I could do a logo
Yeah.
design, I could do a brochure, and those are the kind of jobs I was getting. So I wasn't writing like a story and all that. I know people do that now. Exactly. So just to
Yeah.
buttress the point that if you choose the particular kind of contents, I think the first question to ask yourself is what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? So it comes down to like your unique value proposition. Do you want to be known as a content writer, or do you want to be known as a social media manager or as a graphic designer? So if you decide on that, then you can now have decide on the mediums to use to share your story,
Yeah.
right? Now, the mediums to use are everything you've already stated. It can either be like an article or a post or a
A video.
video
Yeah.
or a newsletter or even sometimes infographics, right? If you are a data analyst, infographics might be one of maybe your strong suits, where
Yeah.
you design whatever you've done and then convert it to a PDF such that it can have like a carousel
Yeah. They
slideshow
can
to
they can
showcase
scroll.
everything you've done.
Yeah.
Amazing, right? And I remember the past election, there's this data analyst that was doing amazingly well in that field. And then what he did was to showcase the votes across multiple states,
Mm.
right? In a carousel flow for free. And I'm like, if I have
Wow.
a data analysis job, like that this guy go collect that, he
Is this
doesn't even have
what
to, doesn't have
definitely
to.
no,
So things
just
like
take
that,
my
right?
money.
Exactly, things like that. And that was like amazing. It blew my mind. This is the
Yeah.
Nigerian guy, right? So again, it comes down to what you don't want to be known for, and then pick the medium that works for you. But then just to deep dive now into certain industries, right? And you see young people trying to go into maybe the influencing space. Maybe you've decided on an industry, you want to build thought leadership in that industry, then I recommend video, right? So video help you. For video, I would say videos that inspire, videos that help people learn, right? Videos that help people see their better versions of themselves with what you're putting out can really do a lot to boost what you're trying to sell. And then we see you can talk about your journey. If you're learning something new, if you want to go into the baking industry, you want to be a chef, you just learned a new recipe, you can talk about your journey in your video,
Yeah.
right? So make it relatable. I'm sorry, I'm just saying a lot at the same time,
No,
right?
it's fine.
So
You're absolutely on point. Keep going.
so, but that make it relatable, make it straight to the point. You can use a hook, something that inspires people, draws them in, and then you deliver your message. Make it straight to the point. For short form video, LinkedIn, I think you can go as much as maybe 2 minutes sometimes with your video,
Yeah.
real format. So yes, so and then for articles, long form content, maybe you're like doing a deep dive into something you've learned and
Yeah.
maybe how to, not videos now, but how to articles that
Yeah.
can inspire someone, that can teach somebody something, then you can use long form content for those articles. Or if you maybe you're sharing an insight, maybe about a topic or an expertise, then you can do all that as well. All of these things. So I'll say that any medium can work. You just have
Yeah.
to do it consistently. And another thing I'll mention is try to get feedback. Okay.
Okay.
And then monitor what you're doing, get feedback, go back to the drawing board, tweak as much as possible. Start anyhow, right? You don't
Yeah.
have to be perfect before you start. Just start anyhow and then get better. The
Yeah.
major thing is to get better as you grow in your journey. And then you'll be
Yeah.
good to go.
I love that you mentioned videos as part of like the content, because I think a lot of people have this stigma about videos on LinkedIn where they feel like, videos are more suited for platforms like Instagram because you have Instagram Reels, or you have TikTok videos, or you have YouTube Shorts. You know, how do you feel about creating videos for LinkedIn? Is this something that you are comfortable in? And if you are comfortable in it now, was there a time where you struggled to kind of create videos specifically for LinkedIn?
Okay, so personally, right, I'm not really a video person, at least not now. I'm a video person when it comes to what I want to achieve, right? So my
Yeah.
goal now is not really to build that persona as an influencer using video. My goal is
Yeah.
something else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will not talk about myself, but I've seen videos do amazing stuff on LinkedIn, right? A case in point, I've seen a brand strategist. So again, a rule of thumb, you can make it short form, so it's not like TV
Very
size.
long. Yeah.
Make it short form. Make it maybe 1350 by 1080, so which is horizontal, right?
Yeah.
Not vertical but horizontal, and then make it short. Depending on what you're trying to build. This example, this person was trying to build a personal brand in brand strategy. So oftentimes what he will share is he will just share tips to help businesses grow, right?
Okay.
He will use a relatable, what's the word now? A relatable instance of something that happens in Nigeria, and then tie
Yeah.
it down to his topic of focus, and then share his message.
Yeah.
Okay, and he has done this consistently over time. It's so good that I now anticipate his
The
videos,
videos
right?
coming out.
Yeah, exactly. And before you know it, businesses are coming to meet him. He has now added, oh, this video is sponsored by, so he's already collecting influencing fee in some
Of
way,
course.
right?
Of course.
Now the thing is that, funny enough, you don't actually need to shoot this video particularly for LinkedIn, because the same thing he's
Mm.
putting on IG reel, and he's also putting it on LinkedIn as a reel. So it still works. It still
Yeah.
works. So exactly. So definitely it will sell. Again, the rule of thumb is do it consistently, pick a niche, make sure you are improving somebody's life or improving a business or making somebody better versions of themselves, and then do your thing,
Yeah.
basically.
Absolutely love it. And that's still on that topic of like improving someone's life or just the reason why you are doing that. It kind of brings me into our next question. Still talking about content, but now not just
Mhm,
content for your platform, but when it comes to LinkedIn groups or communities. One of the things that I
mhm.
absolutely love about LinkedIn, even before Instagram had their channels and whatnot, LinkedIn had been consistent with groups. And I think the group or community
Yeah.
feature on LinkedIn is a very big one, and it's one that people love. How would you say that creatives can leverage LinkedIn groups to engage with their audience, specifically using the content that they are putting out there?
Well, I'll say a few things on that, but the first thing is to join the relevant group, first of all, right?
Yep.
Based on your industry, based on your focus or what you want to get out of LinkedIn, join the relevant group. Of course, you have to search this out. So just go to the and search graphic designers group. You can search, then you can refine your search maybe by states, by geographical location, by any other keywords of your choice, right? So when you determine
Yeah.
this group, then you can just join. Just join. Oftentimes they might maybe have like maybe a moderator within the group. So you might have to be accepted officially when
Mm.
you apply to join. Some groups are free, other groups can have a moderator. So join as many as you want. But then again, a lot of times we join these groups, but we don't do anything after joining the groups, right? So join the groups first. Watch to see if you've been accepted into the groups, like I said, for those of them where you have to be accepted. Others are free and you
Yeah.
just join. Now the next thing is active participation. And then
Mm.
it can be easier because sometimes when you do a post, you can I think there's a hot button that lets you share into those
A
groups,
group.
as many groups
Yeah.
as you can instantly, right? So you don't need to go all the way there to start posting into them. So active participation, post your content there, and also engage on with the contents that are being posted there. That's another thing. So
Yeah.
again, it can be overwhelming at some point, right? So if you want
Yeah.
to take it slow, you can just pick one or two groups. You don't have to
Yeah.
pick 10 groups and try to follow up on all the 10. Pick one or two strong groups that you want to really be a part of so you can grow within a community,
I
right?
like
Post your stuff.
I like that active participation element. I think that is very, very important because this is, I think, almost every single episode we talk about this because it is like a very important thing. So many people like one-way communication. It's like, I don't know if it's this thing where we just kind of see ourselves as influencers. Like you said, you join a group, all you want to do is post. All you want people to comment on your own stuff. You want people to engage with your own stuff, but you are not doing anything for anybody else. You're just there as an observer. I'm here to observe.
I think yeah, it might not really be like you don't have it in your mind like this is what I want to do, but apparently that's
Yeah,
how it plays out over time. So again, I
yeah,
think it comes down to intentionally engaging, intentionally collaborating, asking questions. Oftentimes, you can even ask a question not because of you don't know the answer, but because of you want to get people's participation,
I've
right?
seen people
So
do
ask
that. I've
questions.
seen people do that a lot of times, actually, because some people ask certain questions, and I'm like, I know who you are. I know you know the answer to that. But
Exactly,
obviously,
right?
it's a
So,
very smart strategy because in some way, I even feel like it's a little bit of research to kind of dive into,
yeah.
the network and see what exactly do people
Mhm.
think about this particular topic. It's like, I know what the answer is, but I want to know what other people think about it. So
True, true, true,
yeah,
true,
I
true,
think
true.
I
So
think
ask
that's a very good
questions.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing is share valuable insights yourself, as you know, right? Share insights, respond to questions, share resources. Resources go a long way to boost your persona within a group. If you read, for example, people are complaining about how to get jobs, or you can put together like a carousel or a slide of top 15 freelance platforms in the world.
Oh,
Right? Top 15 freelancing. Hello, hello.
okay, it's better now. I think your network was a bit shaky there, but you're back now.
Yeah, I think yes. I'm
Yeah,
back now. You can hear me loud and
yeah.
clear.
Yeah. Yes, I
Okay.
can.
Welcome to our world. So, like I was saying, imagine putting the resources of top 50 freelancing platforms you can join for free or get jobs online for free, and then share it. Obviously, to inspire people, they can look up your profile, most likely follow you, most likely connect with you, and all that, right? So, and then network with group members. If you go to a group, if you join a group, you can see group members there. You can
Yeah.
connect with them, ask questions, get to know what they are doing as well. and then you can create a group of yours if you are inspired to be the moderator, grow your own community if you're trying to build a personal brand within that industry. Yeah, yeah, and then you'll be good to go to leverage your groups.
Thank you so much for that. So we're getting towards the end of this now. Thank you so much to everyone that has been following along. Before we get to our final question, I did want to ask about, or just kind of tap into your own experience and even,
Mm,
you know, your expertise building my sport, because obviously this is something you've seen happen with individuals over and again, or maybe things that have
yeah.
happened for you. What are the most common networking mistakes that you see people making on LinkedIn, and how do you think they can be avoided? Or what are some mistakes that you made personally on your journey, and how were you able to then resolve that?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll say one of the first thing I've seen a lot of people do, and I did myself, would be the generic connection requests or generic connection requests. Yeah, where you just follow, or connect. Even LinkedIn is already saying, "Hey, connect with who you know personally and all
Yep,
that."
yep,
They are now trying to restrict all that. Yeah, so be intentional about your connection. You can connect based on industry, so connect with people in your level or at your level, right? Connect with people above what you currently are, so you can build that mentorship kind of connection,
yep,
right? Connect with possible people that can sponsor you in your journey or can guide you in your journey, right? And then connect with businesses as well that you want to be a part of their journey, or maybe you want to work there in the future, get to learn about what you're doing. We don't actually do this, but we should do this a lot. I mean, if you want to work in, if you're a graphic designer, you want to work in a place like Fort Canvas, which is one of the biggest creative agencies in Lagos or in Nigeria, as it were, connect
yeah,
with them. Of course, because you know that the kind of showcase and jobs they'll post are the top notch you ever see in Nigeria. Right? So connect with them. You can just tailor your work to what they are doing already to help you boost your career.
yeah.
I know I did that a lot just to see what the standard was in Nigeria as a
In
graphic
the
designer.
industry, yeah, yeah,
The
that's
industry,
brilliant.
exactly. We did that a
Yeah,
lot across board. Connected with one of the top graphic designers, one of the top illustrators or visual artists we had, just to see what they were doing and see how I can tailor what I'm doing. So if at least it's along that pathway. And
yeah,
also mentors, like I said, those ahead of you, connect with them as well. You can send them a message. Let it be relatable. Truth be told, most might not answer you, which is fine, right? So
it's just
don't get
fine.
angry because of that. I mean, it's totally fine. Those that will answer. Sometimes it's not like they don't want to answer, but they are busy, and that's fine, right?
Yeah,
There are people that I'm discussing with them now, right? But I connected with them like maybe 3 years ago, and there was no response from them,
wow.
right? Yeah, there was no response from them. But I mean, I've grown in my journey. They've also grown in their journey. But I'm in a place where they are able to respond to me now. But they're responding to me. But then they are saying that, hey, this person actually connected with me like 3 years ago. So it means that this person actually had me exactly in their
Yeah,
mind. And then it just goes to show your intentionality. And then it
yeah,
puts you in a higher pedestal in a way of form in their eyes, right? So these are some of the little things that you might do now, and you think it's not go a long way, but best believe it will go a long way, right?
yeah.
Another thing is over promotion. You know, oftentimes, especially if you're trying to look for clients, you want to
You want
sell.
to sell
That's
yourself.
not
Buy my product. Buy this. Buy,
exactly right.
or
And I know
buy me. Just to give me money, please.
we all fall, we all fall for that trap. But again, I think the rule of thumb is it should be a bit of both worlds. Give knowledge, let it be relatable. Again, this comes from a foundation that this is what I love to do, not I'm
Yep,
doing it because I want to make money. They're two different things, right? So if it comes from a foundation like this is what I love to do, just do it. Just share knowledge. I see people
yep,
doing like a streak, and they'll do like they'll share the designs they've done for that week. They'll be like day one, I did this. Day two, it's an amazing way to build connection. And then at the end of
Yeah.
the post, you are like, what are your thoughts? What do you think? How can this be better?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're already
That's
putting
really
out good
good.
stuff. You're already,
Absolutely.
you're,
In the
you're already putting out
developers
good stuff.
world, there is what they call 100 days of code. I did that challenge when I started out. It was
Exactly.
absolutely
And
fantastic.
such challenges can work in any industry. At some point, I
Yeah.
was doing, I wanted to build my writing skills. So I was doing uh, an article per day or a write up per day.
Wow.
Not really like long form, but like medium
But
form, not like
yeah, yeah, it's the consistency
medium form.
really over the length of it. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I was writing, I was you hear the weirdest story. The first movie I ever watched, you get why I think Nigeria will make progress and just random things. But I was trying to build a consistent writing structure for that
Yeah.
challenges and all. That helps a lot. That helps a lot, definitely. And
What would you
then,
say is your, sorry, what would you say is, maybe, I don't want to say the biggest mistake, but something that if you could go back in time to when you first started, you would definitely change about the way that you started up on LinkedIn?
I think for me, in as I've mentioned before, it's to be updating my profile. Oftentimes, sometimes we like. I think one of the biggest things for me that I changed was just updating that bio and then updating the summary and then putting core experiences. Right? There was a time that I don't know if it's still functional, but there was a time you could put um like what is it called now? Like top skills you want to be ranked for. That
Oh,
helped
yeah,
me a lot. That helped me a lot because in Abuja, I was one of the few that was ranking for maybe brand identity designers or brand strategy.
that's amazing.
And I actually got, as weird as it was, and funny enough, I actually got, and then posting consistently. So I think it was a bit of both. It was posting consistently and then ranking for that brand strategy and then tailoring my profile. And I got responses from people abroad,
Definitely.
the
Yeah.
weirdest of things. And I got people
Not,
sent
yeah.
me, and then I'll say a clear call to action. Either your phone number is there, but because
Mm.
I mean, I don't understand why you want a client, you are looking for clients, your profile is there, but they can't reach you. They're even sending you a message and you're not
Yeah,
responding.
yeah,
Like
nowhere to
because
be found.
you don't open LinkedIn every day. Like for me, I was like, my phone. I know a lot of people don't want to put their phone number, which is fine. For me, as at then, I was looking for clients. I needed money. Because my
Mhm.
phone number was there, my email address was there. I was opening LinkedIn every day. I was posting
Call me,
practically like
text me,
three
message
times a
me. Well,
right? And then I got somebody send me a message on WhatsApp. Hey, are you this? Do you do this? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I do. And like, okay, how much do you charge? But I didn't even know who this person was. I didn't like do a background and all. I gave a fee, and that was like the cheapest the person has seen, right? And that was when I went to Google the person's name and knew who the person was. And this person was like an investor in the UK,
yeah.
an investor in the UK, right? And trust me, this has been without missing words, one of my most preferred clients so far, even up to now. And this is about 4 years ago.
Wow. That's
This is about 4 years
amazing.
ago. Even up to now, right? And the
Mm.
relationship has been remarkable. Just and for him, and then for him, it was like, oh, I looked at your post and I saw that you were posting brand strategy work almost every week. I read them. I could relate to them. You get, and I knew that some of the businesses that we invest in, they do this kind of things because they want to do like a whole brand overhaul, right? Whole brand strategy, and that this is what is inspired me to reach out to you, basically. Just because of I was posting about brand strategy, I was posting my jobs, my works, and all that. So I think because of this has given me the biggest reward. I would say that was
Yeah.
the biggest change for me. Yeah.
That's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing. I think I love it's one of the reasons also, like I mentioned earlier, why we set up this webinar series because I love to hear people's stories. I love to hear people's experiences. And I think it's really one of the best ways that we can learn. You know, you don't always
Yeah.
have to experience something to learn from it. You can learn from other people's experiences. It's like when they're showing you there's no roads there, oh, don't go there. You stay
Exactly.
up that path, you know, you don't need to go and fall into the ditch yourself and be like, okay, actually, there's no road here. You have been warned, right? You've already been told. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think there are so many golden nuggets in that. But now coming to our final question, and this is one that I think is very important, especially because we live in an age where everything is evolving, everything is just like torpedo speed away. It's just, you know, moving so quickly. I wanted to talk about AI, but I was like, do you know what, I'm not going to, now I've already said it, but anyways, I'm going to let you be the one to decide if you think that AI is a worthy mention in this regard. But how do you see LinkedIn evolving as a platform? What are some of the new features or trends that, you know, creatives should be aware of?
I mean, I think there are a lot of them. They are like, I'll say we have really recent ones, and we have some ones that a lot of people don't really actually utilize, but are also good. So
Yeah.
starting from like things that are already have been existing for like a year or two that I think you should utilize. Number one, LinkedIn Learning. I know that
Okay.
one of the at some point I know one of the biggest resource for me learning by myself for myself without probably going to an higher institution or traveling abroad to learn anything, a course or a new skill, was LinkedIn Learning. I mean,
Mm.
amazingly, like half of yeah, I can say half of what I know now was from LinkedIn Learning. Now let me start listing them for you from you. You get content strategy, a whole of content
Oh,
strategy. And now I'm doing content
wow.
strategy for like really remarkable businesses in and outside Nigeria. From LinkedIn Learning, you get email marketing, marketing funnel system, top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, below the belt, all of those things from LinkedIn Learning, right? Content writing from LinkedIn Learning, videography, photography from LinkedIn Learning.
Okay. It's an entire academy at this point.
Yeah, it is. And again, you pay monthly and access all these things. So it's not like Coursera where you have to pay per course or
Yeah.
Domestica where you have to pay per course, right? You pay monthly and access all these things. So it means you can decide that for this month, I pay this fee. I want to learn this. If I learn this, I can add this to my profile. And guess
Yep.
what? Guess what? If you learn on LinkedIn Learning, you can add it directly to your profile.
Yep.
So one of the things you see in my profile is that I've taken this myriad of courses from LinkedIn Learning. And of course, if I'm telling you, oh, I'm a brand strategist, you don't need to, you are seeing it in my profile. I've taken
You
the
already
course,
know. I don't
advanced
need
brand
to
strategy
explain.
courses. I don't need to explain exactly. So it kind of like fits in the professional ladder for you, puts you in a good spot. Yeah. So LinkedIn
Yep.
Learning. And like we've mentioned as well, we've talked about article for long form content and all that.
Yeah.
And I know now to more recent things, there's what you call creative mode or creator mode
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, where you can now start using tools as a creator. And I think yeah, there you can do polls and all, even story. I think there's also stories there as well for video.
Okay.
And there are other tools. I can't remember all the tools now, but there are other tools under creator mode. But you just need to activate that creator mode. And this is
For
you
your
telling LinkedIn
profile.
that, hey, I want to be a LinkedIn creator. And they'll just
Yeah.
provide you all the tools to enable you to do that. And I think you also have access to, you can be a top voice in a particular niche,
Yeah.
right? And that is amazing because it means that it just positions you up there, and it means
As
that
an authority
you are
figure. Yeah.
exactly. And hey, this is no small feat. It means that you have consistently been talking about something over a long period of time, right? And you see that LinkedIn will start recommending discussions to you just to hear your inputs,
Yeah.
right? And you see items like, okay, this discussion was recommended to you. What do you have to say about it? Or make a comment, right?
Mm.
And then you do that often. If you do that often, you start building your professional brand, your personal profile, and then you can now be recommended as the top voice. And then that's like a whole badge of its own, top voice in this industry. And then that's a remarkable feat. And
Yeah.
of course, as you said, there are AI powered insight that can help you in your content generation, help you in your messaging. Oftentimes, people will say, "Oh, I don't know what to say if I'm looking for a mentor." Just use ChatGPT or just use LinkedIn AI tool.
Yeah.
Again, I
Help
just tell you what
yourself,
to say. Help yourself,
basically.
really, right? And then fine tune the results you get, tailor it to what you really, really want, and then you can go from there.
Yeah. This
Basically. And then
that
yeah, there's
has been
LinkedIn
some
Live.
amazing
Yeah, one
ones.
more thing, there's LinkedIn Live. LinkedIn where you can
Oh,
just go live. You can yeah, there's LinkedIn Live. You can go live on LinkedIn.
okay.
We can have events on LinkedIn as well. If we're supposed to do this on LinkedIn, it's possible. Yeah, it's
It's
possible.
possible.
It's possible. And then people can join. You can have live events. You can go live yourself and just share anything or any niche you want to talk about and do and say, basically.
Oh my God, that is brilliant to know. And even some of the things you're mentioning now, I never even thought about it. For one, I never thought about LinkedIn Learning. So that's definitely a big one for
Wow.
me as well. You have an
That's a house
academy
right there.
of just
It's one
brilliant
of the cheapest.
resources.
It's one of the
Yeah,
cheapest schools you can actually attend, really. And I think LinkedIn bought I can't remember the name now. One of the first online academic learning institution we
yeah.
had back then. I can't remember the name now, but LinkedIn bought them over. And basically all of their courses is what you have on
It moved
LinkedIn. And
over
LinkedIn
to
has started
LinkedIn.
yeah, it moved over to LinkedIn. And LinkedIn has
You see?
started developing theirs as well.
People are thinking, and it's absolutely the kind of collaboration that we love to see. And that's one of the reasons I said, like, even though I'm not so, I'm not the best on LinkedIn, I absolutely admire the brand. I think LinkedIn has done a brilliant work in terms of branding, in terms of defining their product, in terms of improving their product. I mean, it has gone from this boring, platform where all you did is just okay jobs and look for jobs, and now even like you are talking about all of these amazing resources that people have access to boost their professional network in ways that you don't even know yet. There's so many features that
Mhm.
I don't even know yet. So many people listening to this right now are like, is that possible? We can do that on LinkedIn,
Yeah.
because all they know
Yeah.
is that, oh, you go to LinkedIn, you maybe change your profile picture, you update whatever, add your latest jobs. I think some people just use LinkedIn as like a scoreboard for their jobs. It's like, okay, I've left this job, I'm now working here.
Mhm.
Which is quite sad, because like we're talking about now, there is so much that you can do, there is so much
There
that you
is.
can learn,
There
there's
is
so
so
much that
much.
you can gain from LinkedIn. And I want to really thank you so much, Toby, for sharing not only your expertise but also your experience on this, because it is
Yeah.
already showing that you have been on that platform. You've been there. You've
I
done the, you've been
have.
there,
Oh,
like you've
I've been
experienced it
there.
firsthand. And yeah, I think, just every single thing that you've touched on today, there are little bits of golden nuggets that if we want to even start diving deeper into this, it's just there's so much knowledge, there's so much to gain from all of that. So thank you so
Mhm.
much for sharing your
Yeah,
knowledge,
I
for
hope it
sharing your
helped.
experience and your expertise with us. Before we kind of round up the session, I did want to shine a spotlight on you and my sport. If you can take a couple of seconds to tell us all about a project that you're working on right now, or if, whatever it is that you want to promote in this moment, tell our
Okay.
listeners what they can expect from you or what they should be looking out for in the nearest future.
Okay, okay, amazing, amazing. Thank you for that. So, again, AC, did you know that like the global business outsourcing marketplace, right, is currently worth $300 billion, right? And guess what? Africa, as it were, is only taking about 3% of that figure, which is about 8 billion, right? Now the reasons are many. Again, the reasons for this are many, right? But 6 out of every 10 talents, professional talents we've spoken to in Nigeria currently still earn less than $150 per month, right? This is due to oftentimes lack of visibility to the right jobs, okay, lack of skill to actually match international standard or the global economy, right? Lack of mentorship, lack of community oriented growths, right? These are like fundamental things our institutions in Africa or in Nigeria where we are do not provide us with. All right. And this is what we're trying to change in my sport. The fact that in the next, say, 5, 6 years, any
Yeah.
talent in Nigeria that wants to go into brand marketing, communication, design, or technology can be their chest that, okay, I have an institution that will give me the right skill, give me the right job opportunity, give me the right mentorship opportunity and environments to grow. That is how we would love to describe my sport, right? And that is the fundamental thing we would like to change. And it comes from my own personal experience as a creative professional working in Nigeria. It just
Yeah.
seemed like there's a ceiling over my head. Now again, this is different because I'm speaking as an individual, right? Now that's not saying I don't get international gigs. I currently work with international professionals. I work in Nigeria
Yeah.
and collect good money for it, right? But I'm thinking of the industry as a whole. Think of
Yeah.
Nigerian talents,
The
right? Out of which
standard.
there are about
Yeah.
4.2 million. We have about
Yeah.
4.2 million freelancers in Nigeria. Everybody just struggling to make headway.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be like an institution that just first of number one teaches you the skill, but nobody is saying that when you even get this job, you have the right skill. You are working in Nigeria, but who says you can work for a UK company? Do you know the amount of work ethic it will take for you to get that kind of a job and get paid in USD? That's what you need to even learn in the first place, right?
Yeah.
The business ethic of things, ethics of things, the knowledge. When you call yourself a an email marketer,
Yeah.
right? You're an email marketer. Do you know all it takes for you to become an email marketer? Again, this is what you are being paid for professionally. If you call yourself
Of
a
course.
graphic designer, do you know everything it takes to become a graphic designer?
Yeah.
Exactly. So that is the upskilling aspect of my sport. Hopefully, will teach you. And then again, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're just partnering with the right educational institutions, the right academic institutions already in Nigeria, where you can take some of these courses, and then you get jobs. We'll partner with local businesses, startups, international businesses as well. They'll post their jobs. You can apply for these jobs. You have like your own profile, just like
Yeah.
LinkedIn, but this time you have like a location. From your locator, you say how much you want to earn for a job. You have your specific URL where you can send it to any business for them to see your profile on my sport. And then the unique thing is that you can get to earn in USD because you have your USD wallet on my sport, right? You
Brilliant.
have your Naira wallet on my spot, you have your USD wallet on my spot. You can connect with mentors like like yourself. Like if you want to teach somebody, you want to inspire somebody, you can just send them a message through our messaging system, my spot messaging, and then you can connect with them, set up a meeting. It can be with charges, it can be for free, but you are impacting knowledge as well. And then also you grow within a community because we are all professionals in Nigeria trying to become better versions of ourselves, right?
100%.
and then you can connect. You're not there yet, but there's somebody that is already there that can show you the ropes, and you can connect with such person basically. So yeah,
Thank
connect
you
with
so
us
much for that.
www.mysport.net, and then register with us there. Register as a talent or register as a business, create a profile, and then begin your journey basically.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, Toby. And we're going
Welcome.
to put all of the necessary links in the description below. So be sure to check that out. I want to once again say a very big thank you to you, Toby. This has been such an insightful session. And even before we started this, I already told you LinkedIn is not my strongest suit. I'm going to be very honest. There are
Yeah.
certain platforms where I can beat my chest and say, I know everything that's going on there. I'm up to date. LinkedIn is not one of those platforms, And I am one person that I believe in just, specialization. So I don't want to be jack
Mhm.
of all trades. There are a lot of things I can
Yeah.
do, but also a lot of things that I'm not the best at. And that is why collaboration is necessary. That's why networking is necessary. That's why we need to have other people like yourself who know the ins and outs of this platform, and we can work with you to do amazing work to boost our professional network, to boost our professional platform, and just even our brand image in general. So thank you so much.
Mhm.
Thank you to everyone
You're
that has
welcome.
following through on today's
You're
video.
welcome.
I already know that you have a lot of value. Like you can't tell me you've not, you can't even tell me your notebook is full at this point, right? Thank you. I'm going to let you
Hopefully.
get on now, Toby. Yeah, and thank you so much to everyone that has been following us. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Remember to follow us across our social media so you are up to date with every single episode to know when the episode is coming out live. If you haven't already, be sure to join our Telegram channel. There's a lot of brilliant discussions going on in there, and I will see you in the next episode.